Thank you, David. I stand before you today extremely proud and honored to be your president. And I pledge to work hard for you and our children so that each child can be successful, so that each child can reach his or her potential, so that each child can achieve the American dream. My presidency will be dedicated to leading children to excellence. It is through school board leadership for student achievement that each child will be successful, and that is a deliberative action on our part. I am the daughter of immigrants. My mom and dad came to America, the land of opportunity. My mom came at 15 years of age, alone. Imagine coming 3,000 miles away from home at the age of 15. Now, she came here for the opportunities America offered. She got off the boat in Ellis Island, went into Jersey City, and started knocking on doors looking for work. At 15. My mother was a woman of great courage, great integrity, and a phenomenal work ethic. Now, she probably had a 6th grade education. She cleaned people's homes so that my sister, brother, and I could have a good education. Her expectations for us were incredibly high. She used to say that in this country, America, you had to have that piece of paper, that diploma, in order to be successful, and you had to work hard to get it. I remember once coming home from school with a 96 on a test, and my mother asked me, what happened to the other 4 points? Talk about high expectations. Michelangelo once said, the greatest danger for most of us is not that our aim is too high and we will miss it, but it is too low and we will reach it. Think about that for a moment. My mom knew about high expectations. Do you? Do you truly expect that each child in your school district will reach his or her potential? Now, research has shown us that student achievement increases when the school board expects each child to succeed. It starts with us. So be steadfast, expect the best, and have high expectations. Because children are remarkable. They will rise to meet our expectations. Now, my dad was a paper handler in the newspaper business. You know, the person who put the paper on the presses? Now, he had a good education. It was equivalent to 2 years of college. So he was the one that helped us with our homework, especially math. Now, together, they instilled in us not only a love of learning, but an intense, passionate love of America. My parents became citizens, and as typical of new citizens, were the most patriotic people I know. When the Star-Spangled Banner was played, or we pledged our allegiance to the flag, or when Kate Smith sang God Bless America, there would be tears running down my big, strong father's face. Their pride in America was palpable, and they instilled that in us, their children. So even today, I get a lump in my throat or a tear in my eye when I hear them played. America is the greatest country in the world. It is founded on the principles of democracy, and our public schools are the bedrock, the cornerstone of this democracy. Our founding fathers envisioned for us a bright future. And public education is a civil right and the way to advance this nation intellectually, financially, culturally, and it even impacts our national security. But it is the locally elected or appointed school board member who nurtures and protects public education today. Everyone else wants to tear it down. Who knows the local community's values and dynamics better than you? Certainly not our state or federal government. There are so many people who think they are experts on education because they went to school. And I am sure that you have met a few of them. But we have to change that dialect. We have to stop the bashing of school board members, administrators, and teachers. We have to tell our own stories about heroic school board members who strive for excellence in their schools, or for teachers who go above and beyond for their students, for administrators who work hard to see that each child has a chance, and to communities who stand up for public schools. Are you standing up for public schools? Our story is a story of leading children to excellence. So what can we do to advance our goal of student achievement? Now, here is a partial to-do list. Above all, we must use a systemic approach for effective school governance. We must have high expectations for our learners with very clear goals. We must set high standards for every child. We must ensure that student achievement is front and center on every board agenda. Every board agenda. If it is not the highlight of our board agenda, where will it be or when will it be discussed? We must keep our relationship with our staff and community strong and collaborative. We have to be data savvy. We have to use them as assessments strategically to further our vision and our mission. And we have to have a strong board and superintendent governance team. We must develop a vision and a mission for our school district and be accountable for student outcomes. But we also must build safe and nurturing school environments that are conducive to learning. And of course, we have to engage our communities. Now, these are just a few suggestions. The key work of school boards will be revitalized and relaunched this year and can help us all to improve student achievement because it is a blueprint of how to effectuate change. In this, the 60th anniversary of Brown versus the Board of Education, the mission of NSBA remains strong and true. Working with and through our state associations, NSBA advocates for equity and excellence in public education through school board leadership. Equity and excellence, both of those are needed. If there's not equitable funding or equitable resources, the likelihood of success is dramatically impacted. But it must be accomplished through school board leadership. The latest Center for Public Education analysis shows that the on-time graduation rate is about 80%, and it rises to around 85% when you include summer and five-year graduates. Now, that is terrific news, and I applaud all of you who have worked hard to make that happen. But there are still low-performing schools, and we cannot ignore them. Until each child is given the opportunity to be successful, we cannot rest. It does not matter whether these children are in our urban centers, our suburbs, or our rural areas. We must do whatever it takes to change these low-performing schools. We cannot ignore the results. Each school district must be successful, or public education will always be fighting for credibility. We must do this. The future of public education and the cornerstone of our democracy is at stake. The future of school boards is at risk. Now, it will be hard work, very hard work, but I believe that school board governance teams, the school board and the superintendent, are the only ones that can make it a reality. Let those of us who are successful help those who are low performing. And let us start today. You know, Thomas Jefferson, one of our greatest inventors, has said, "Our greatest weakness is in giving up. The most certain way to succeed is always to try one more time. Become determined. Do not give up. Try one more time, because the future of each child is at stake. Now, I would be remiss if I didn't thank all of you who are making a difference in the life of a child. It is exciting to see school board members and NSBA take up the challenge to not only promote public education, but to challenge the naysayers of public education, to be proactive, not reactive. For too long, we have allowed the conversation about public education to come from others, and that time is over. We are the voice of public education. We stand for school board governance and student achievement. We are the voice of our children and our community, but let us use that voice. We must demand the resources needed to be successful. You know, Franklin Roosevelt said the school is the last expenditure upon which America should be willing to economize. Now, before I finish, there are several people I must thank. The NSBA board is a hardworking, dedicated group of terrific people who are here for the right reasons. And I thank you for your support and your hard work. I also thank the extraordinary staff of NSBA for all they do to advance our mission and our vision. My New York State School Boards Association has always been there for the board and for children, and I thank them for their leadership and support. And my own local school board, the Nanuet Public Schools, is a true example of a highly effective board that lives and breathes student achievement. And to my family who are here today, my sister Eileen and her husband Ray Huntington, Anne Marie, our oldest daughter, and her husband Kevin and their 3 children, Kate, Connor, and Grace, our daughter Peggy, her husband Tom, and their 3 children, Caitlin, Thomas, and Liam, our son Patrick, his wife Liz, and their 3 children, Patrick, Lily, and our newest 4-month-old Claire. Thank you for your love and support. You are the greatest joys of my life. And last but certainly not least is my husband Pat, or as in some circles, St. Pat. Now, we just celebrated our 44th wedding anniversary on Friday. Dear, you are my strength, my friend, my confidant, and my love. Thank you. I love you. Fellow board members, we are on this journey together to ensure that our children have the opportunity to be whatever they wish to be the next greatest scientist or mathematician, the person who cures cancer and other diseases, writes that great American novel, becomes the best artist or musician, becomes a productive citizen, defends the Constitution, and becomes the most caring and kind human being. For it is for our children that we give of our time, our energy, and our passion. And one last thought, and this is from a quote from Nelson Mandela, who I love. Children are the most vulnerable citizens in any society and the greatest of our treasures. The true character of a society is revealed in how it treats its children. If at the end of our lives we can say that we made a difference in the life of a child, what a terrific legacy. Leading children to excellence is our clarion call. And who better to answer that call than you, our locally elected or appointed board members? Will you be the leaders who bring children to excellence? Yes. We must work together for our country, for our communities, for our public schools, and most importantly for our children. So let's lead each child to excellence. Thank you.